Hello, hello, hello. Whew. Welcome to my live from my shop. I am so sweaty. I apologize. I am gross, but I'm working in a garage in New England in July, and it's hot. Um, Today is day 15 of Tour de Fleece, which means it is, oh, I need to plug that in, which means it is July 15th. Right now it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern, and I'm just here at the shop doing some work. I just finished scouring up some um, CVM for a customer. Beautiful stuff from Green County Farm, I believe. Um, so that was really lovely to be able to see what their release was about. Then I did a couple more listings in my Etsy shop, which is Coastal Wool Washing. I just had to take some photos and get some stuff up there. That's the thing, like, you don't realize when you start doing something like this, it's not the work that's hard. It's like, it's all the other online, like, making sure things are up nicely and you have good pictures and all of that. Um, if you're new here, if you haven't been by to visit before, hi Mark. Oh, you ordered the new Kiwi 3 last night, so you should have it in a week. Cannot wait to get spinning on your new own wheel. Yeah, that's super exciting. That is so cool. I'm glad you decided to make the plunge. I think you'll be very pleased. It's super fun just being able to play around with your tools. It can also be. I got another new tool yesterday that I had been on a list for quite a while, uh, several months, few months. Hi, Mary. Oh, I am so hot right now. Can you tell? I'm shining. I'm glistening, but not in like the young, dewy skin way. I am very hot. But so I got a new tool yesterday. Evie from Jillian Eve was having, she had a couple of those Southwestern spindles from Shacked on her site. And in her COE, the Certificate of Excellence that she's doing, she had a spindle, large supported spindle thing, and she was using that spindle, and I was very intrigued by it. So I got it yesterday, and after 15 minutes of practicing, I was like, okay, I need to take a break because this is frustrating me. You guys have to come with me while I check the water level. Because I was trying to spin churro, which would be like the typical thing to spin on a large supported spindle. It wouldn't be, it's like, it makes sense. uh, but my churro is from Rainbow Co-op. You know, it's so, but it comes in roving, and I don't know if that was really working out so well for me. So, Alexa, set timer for 20 minutes. Sorry. um, so I had to, like, I had to try to card, like, hand card, make roll eggs, and I don't like that. So eventually I am going to just probably put it, like, on the blending board or the drum carder and just see what happens. Because I was not, I was starting to get the hang of it, but I was still getting more frustrated than not. So I know myself, and I know, like, when you're learning something new, you got to give yourself time, you know, like setting a limit of how long you're going to practice, it's helpful. That's what I did when I was first learning to spin with any spindle and with a wheel. Like, I had to give myself limits because otherwise I would just go and go and go, and then I would be really irritated and frustrated and probably uncomfortable because my body was doing movements that I wasn't used to doing. Um, so I did finish my blended not mystery, but like my mishmash fat. I did get that finished up yesterday, skeined and washed, just at home drying. I started a 4-ounce braid of 8515 Polworth silk from Fossil Fibers in the Bryce Canyon colorway, and it's so gorgeous. I have pictures on my Instagram of it and my stories and a post, and it is just like the most beautiful deep green, and like going into this sand brown. I don't know. It's just so it's a delight. It's a really really pretty spin. Um, but it's only 4 ounces, and I'm long drawing it for a 1-3 fractal, and I've already finished the first 2 ounces. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Mary. You saw it? And Marge, yeah. I mean, you gotta, you go for 15, 30 minutes and then, you know, give yourself a break. And then when you get used to it, you know, you give yourself a break and then you go back to it like 20 minutes later or whatever, if you want. Um, but so I'm going to finish that pretty quickly. And then after that, I've got 8 ounces. Oh. Did you see that? I just put fluff on my sweaty face. Ugh. At least it's clean. Ah. That was terrible. um, but I've got I've got 8 ounces left of a dragonfly colorway from Jillian Eve. I don't remember what fiber it is. Um, and then after that, I've got a 4-ounce braid of merino alpaca that was gifted to me for Tour de Fleece. So, I mean, I've got 12 ounces roughly left to spin. I mean, there's a couple of other bits that were in my pile, but if I don't get to them, it's like a bare BFL, like nothing, something that can wait, you know. It's not one of my dyed braids that, I've been sitting there staring at. So, yeah, Tour de Fleece is going good. Is everybody else feeling good about Tour de Fleece, or, kind of lost your mojo? Kind of just been like over it? Too hot to spin? Um, at home I have AC, so it's not so bad. But if I didn't have AC, I would not be spinning a damn thing, because right now I have fiber sticking to me all over the place. And right now I'm actually carting up on my Etsy shop. I do second chance bats, and I have these things of carding waste, combing waste, and it's all a mismatch of wool, and maybe some sari silk, some mix-ins, and they're still usable, and they make some really fun bats. I don't know what's in them. I can't. They're not going to be reproducible, but there's no reason why it can't be used and stuff. So I'm just carting up some of my leftovers while I chat with you folks, because I have my knitting, but I still have a little bit of a cut on my finger that makes it slightly uncomfortable to knit. Plus, it's so hot. The only thing I brought with me was a sweater to knit. So, oh, yeah. So, Mary, you're still working on the Romney process, but you've gotten into throwing again. So, spending time with that and finishing a sweater. Too many craft obsessions. Throwing, as in like clay, like on a wheel, like that kind of wheel, that kind of throwing, like javelin, shot put. I don't I don't, or like throwing like knitting, like English style, I think. Um, yes, like okay, so like ceramics. Ceramics, is that what I think that's what I was looking for. That's cool. I've always been intrigued by that, but I just, like you said, so many projects, so many crafting hobbies. Yes, ceramics is the word I needed. Thank you. um, yeah, I've always thought ceramics looked like sculpture and all of that looked so cool. But it's kind of like drawing for me. Like I can't make things look the way I see in my head. So I always get frustrated. Not that I can say that I've tried ceramics since like high school. But I went to my high school has like an art museum and a huge art department. So I got to do all kinds of stuff, which was really awesome. You know, I can't be mad at that high school at all. Um, whew. It's so gross. Um, Lots of practice. Still practicing after 4 years. Well, yeah, I guess that's just the name of the game for any hobby or craft, right? That like requires skill is to just practice it. You know, I guess I'm more at a place now to like do that than I would have been when I was younger. I would not have been so apt or eager to be all in with the practicing, unfortunately. I was one of those numbskulls when I was younger. Like if I wasn't fantastic at it to start, well, then it just wasn't. Then it was stupid. If only we could tell our younger selves to cut the crap. Right? Right. Um, so, has everybody seen Andrea Mowry's new Rhinebeck sweater pattern? I really like it. Mary, I'm just carding up my, it's combing, carding waist. I have in my Etsy shop, I do second chance bats where I take all the waste and I just card it up together. And I can't duplicate it. I don't know what everything is, but it makes some really fun bats, like texture and stuff like that. Um, so that's what I'm carding. Just a bunch of, like I know right now, like this is alpaca. Um, and there's also, because I mean, this is all stuff I've recently done. Um, this is some soe that I carded, which soe is cool. I got another bag of soe from a U.S. producer, grower, farmer. Yeah. That I'm excited to get into as well once I get some of my other stuff I got to get done. Um, but, you know, I wish, I wish I was, I wish I enjoyed hand carding a little more, but I definitely don't. Combing I like, but I prefer it when I can clamp my comb down somewhere. I think the next thing I want to try and get is a hackle so that I can, like, comb off a bunch of stuff, put it on the hackle, and then diz it all off. I think that's how that works. Um, Lordy. So there has been some crazy weather lately. I've seen, somebody in Vermont that was showing pictures. That's what you do. What's what you do, Mary? Clamp your combs? I'm not sure. I just prattled on a lot about stuff. um, but yeah, hopefully someday I'll make friends with hand carding because it does Oh, the hackle. Yes. Yeah, I think that's my next step once I don't know. Once I figure out the processing, once I have worked through some of what I've got, figure out some processes, and really have a safe space I can put it. Because I just like with the kids, it's like you don't want to give them more ways for them to hurt themselves than they already have just by existing, because children just seem to want to hurt themselves somehow. Like, it's not that they want to, but it's just like, they don't have awareness at all. But, so what was I saying? Yes, the Andrea Mowry sweater for Rhinebeck looks really nice. Like, it, the ease on it looks good. I think it would be really good for hand spun. I don't I did the Rhinebeck sweater she did last year, and I've come to realize, like, I don't care that much about making a sweater because it's the Rhinebeck sweater, because I don't go to Rhinebeck. Um, and, being more aware of the types of sweaters I like to wear and stuff. This one that she's put out, I can't remember the name of it now, but it looks way more my style than a lot of her stuff. Yeah, the vest is very nice too, but I already have plans for a vest with my hand spun, and I have to see if I even actually wear that one before I try to start thinking about making like multiple vests. Because if I don't even wear the one that yes, tessellated, is that the newest one? That might be it. That might be it, Marge. I don't, it is a beautiful sweater. I mean, it's not like any of the stuff that she designs is not pretty at all or nice. It's just, like she's designing for herself and her aesthetic and her body, and there's just certain things that don't always work well on, mine. I'm built very differently than her, and same with any other designers. You know, um, and that's not a fault, because of course a designer is going to design for their body and their shape. That's what they like. Why wouldn't they? Um, Unless they were working for like some sort of big yarn company or something. But yeah, if they're just like an independent knitwear designer, yeah, design for yourself and your needs and what you like. And that's what I think. That reminds me, if you watch Nitty Natty, she had her podcast come out this week. March. Oh, you're 5 feet tall and apple shaped. Yeah, I mean, like, let's start, depending on where I'm at in, like, my exercise, my eating and stuff, it's like my body shape itself fluctuates quite a bit. How I feel about it, you know, it's like even depending on where in the month I am, you know. But Nitty Natty had her podcast come out, and she had a really interesting Q&A section where someone asked about paid and unpaid sponsorships for people in this part of the YouTube world, fiber and knitting and all of that. And it was just really interesting to hear her take on it, like, why shouldn't people get paid for showing off things, I guess, on their channels? I don't know. Do you guys have any thoughts on that? Like, I don't care. I haven't really necessarily thought about whether or not what people are showing is genuine or not, but that's because I don't know. I don't always feel super. Who did a good job, Mary? I'm unsure who. Nitty Natty, maybe. But yeah, Nitty Natty. She's just got. Yeah, she's got great like presence of mind to speak about what she cares about and stuff. And it's been interesting watching her grow and mature in her. Oh, look at that. I was in. I don't even know what are you? Who are you from? How did you get in there? They're nice. I don't know who you're from. Got a crimpiness in there. Can you see? Oof. Oh, you're gonna go in there too. I don't know. Ooh, I got my. Yeah, Mary, you've always thought knitting and crafts in general have been undervalued and definitely underpaid. Certainly, certainly. I mean, there were some interesting points raised in the book Fabric of Civilization. Um, we had a book talk with the author Virginia Postrel on a Discord server, on Evie's Discord server, and it's like when you have there's such a weird dichotomy of like it's a craft and a skill, or it used to be a skill that everyone had to have and had to do. And when you have this need for something in general society that is so pervasive, it can't be something you pay really well for because everybody needs it and does it. Um, but that's not how we are now. Like this is not it. It's still a skill. It's still something that is necessary for people to know how to do. Because if nobody knows how to do it anymore, someday the machines will stop running, and then nobody's going to know how to make clothes. But we don't pay well for craftsmanship in a lot of ways. It's like, oh, this cutting board is $300 or something. I can make that at home. Yes, you can make that at home, but will you? And will you source out this wood, and will you take the time to do whatever it requires doing to make a freaking cutting board? I don't know. I don't make cutting boards, but you know, even when I was talking to somebody about spinning and spindles, like supported spindles or drop spindles, and I was telling them that one of the ones I had bought was it wasn't even on the very expensive end. It was around $78 I think, and they were shocked. And I was like, you realize somebody had to make that? They had to turn it on a lathe or something. Because I think that's what round wood things are made on. Um, I'm not sure, but I think it's a lathe. And like they had to sand it down and smooth it, get the proportions right, get the weight right, get the tip right. Like, it's not just something where you just punch it out of a block of wood and it's done. And it always surprises me when people who do knit or crochet or spin or something like that don't fully grasp that like every step requires some sort of workmanship in the tools that we use. So we should all respect that, right? I think I'm just babbling at this point. I'm hot. um, and because I'm so hot, I need some water. I'm gonna have to switch this fleece over in a minute. I am gonna say ta-ta for now. Should be looking to do another one of these tomorrow. Um, Marge, when you buy handmade, you are paying for the years of experience to, yes, you are. You're paying for the experience, the education, all of that. But all right, I will see everybody tomorrow if you're around, and if not, I'll see you soon. All right, catch you on the flip side. Bye.